So this so suppose we declare a object for a class like this. Suppose there is a class A and we declare object like this. So if this same object has multiple behaviors, right? This object have multiple behaviors, or it behaves differently in different with different suppose methods are same. Suppose method is m1 and this same method behaves differently, then it's about the polymorphism. And how this polymorphism works and what is overloading and overriding, let me come to that topic first. What is overloading? Suppose there is a class A which performs the some manipulations operation like addition, subtraction, and suppose there is a method m1, void m1, right? And in this method we have two variables, integer a and integer b, right? And this method performs int c is equal to a minus b, right? And same have one more method void m2 and int a comma int b integer c. These are two different methods, right? But same name. So if a method have same name but different number of arguments, right, then it is termed as the overloading, right? And overloading happen inside a same class, right? So if a method has same name or different number of arguments or different type of arguments, right? So this is a polymorphism, right? So why the behavior is different? Suppose this code is written for this code is written for adding three numbers, integer d is equal to a plus b plus c, right? And this code is written for adding two numbers. So same code, same method is that, but behaving differently. One is adding three numbers, one is adding two numbers. So this is just a basic example, basic notebook example, but we have same methods but different thousands of line code written over it, and method behaves differently for different objects, right? So if a same object have different behaviors, then we term it as polymorphism, and this is the example of the static polymorphism or compile time, or you can say overloading, right? So let me come to the Eclipse and show you for that. this this is one is of the class. This class has two methods, void add num, right? And in this method we have two arguments, int a comma int b, and there is another c is equal to a plus b, and here we will perform the addition is plus c, right? And we have another same method but different number of arguments. See, you can see d is equal to a plus b plus c, right? Addition is plus d. So I will make a main class for it which will implement this class. Same object will have different behavior. I will check the main method, and here manipulation object is equal to new manipulation, and here I will obj dot 10 and 20, right? So what will be the addition? Addition will be 30, right? Just because we have passed two variables, so it is performing addition for two variables, and if I am passing this, so addition will be 60, right? So the method name is same but behaving differently. Now can I make it integer? Return type may be any type, but why we cannot do it? Just because you can see add return statement, right? So here, because of the type integer, we have to return first thing is that we have to return the d, right? So it will add these values, right? But suppose we do it for same two variables, right? So will I able to do it? No. Just because you can see that duplicate method add num int is type manipulation. You can say that this is the void, this is the int, but there is a ambiguity. Suppose I am passing two values from here. Suppose I am passing two values from here. How will this method know that for which method it should call? Here it's not giving error, right? You can see here it's not giving error because there's method present with two integer variables, so it's fine over here. But what over here, this is confused what method it should call, right? Because same two integer value, I have passed the two integer values and it's saying that okay, same two integer values method I have to find. So both are present over here. Now it's getting confused which one is it should call, right? Don't be confused over this, just I will do this, right? So which it should call, right? So that's why this is a type problem, right? You can say that it's confused, there is ambiguity problem, right? So this is not able to know that which one of this should pass, right? That's why we cannot perform overloading by having different return types, right? We have to be either different number of arguments or different type of arguments. What type of arguments? Let me show you. Here I have to declare either void or int. Suppose here I am declaring void, right? Now one more thing, I can have different type of arguments, right? Void add num, but you cannot add string, but for just example you can see here the string a comma string b. Just understand, don't relate it with that can we add string, no. So just understand that we have different type of arguments with same name, right? So you can understand in that way. Now if I write it, I want to add number, you can write it as float, right? Float a. Will this give an error? No. Will this give an error? No. It will add two floating numbers. Float c is equal to a plus b. Sys out. Addition of numbers plus c, right? Here you have to pass floating numbers 10.5, 20.5, right? So here what it says, just change the add num into int or double, right? So if you want to give it as a float, you have to declare 10.5f, right? So in that case the error will be gone. In floating case you have to write the float, so output will be 31, right? If you will add these two, the output will be 31, right? So in this way you can see both have same name, right? But one is adding the float, on one method is adding the integer, right? And this one is adding three integer values. Methods name are same but behaving differently. Object is same, this is the same object obj, right? This is the same object obj, but whatever I pass the values over it, this behaves to related that, right? If I have passed floating values, this is adding floating numbers. If I have passed the integer values, then it is adding integer value numbers, right? If I pass three integer values, then it is adding 3 integer value number. So based on the requirement, the object is behaving. So same object is that object obj is there but behaving differently. This is the overloading, or you can say compile time polymorphism. What is the book definition of the polymorphism? Poly plus morphs, that means uh, multiple behaviors who can behave multiply, right? Object in Java, everything is object and class, so object is behaving differently, so this is the polymorphism, right? Now I am coming to overriding. Anybody has any questions related to this one? Okay, now I am coming to overriding. Suppose I make a class A, right? Just note it. Here I will rename this class as parent, so it will be more clear to you. Guys, there is a concept of type promotion. I will give you a URL, just go and watch, search that, so it will be more clear about the overloading. But here my case is to start with Selenium very soon, and this is the enough to do that, right? If you understand the overloading, you can start with that. Okay, so class parent, suppose class parent has method void m1. Now listen carefully. M1, right? And there is another method void m2. I am taking very basic examples to introduce you, right? And these are two methods present, and there will be a constructor for sure. For every class there will be default constructor, either you define or not define. You can say parent class constructor, right? Here you can see, right, there is a constructor inside this. This is method, just give a message method m1. Here you can give method m2, and there is a child class. Of course, if the parent class is there, there will be child class. So how I can make this class as child? I should assign a parent to it. And how can I assign? By providing inheritance extends parent, right? What this extends parent means? This means that all methods are present or variables are present inside this class is coming to that child class, right? Constructor cannot be inherited, that I have already told you in previous sessions, right? Here you can see that two methods present in parent class. I have extended this class, right? So all these two methods will be present inside this parent class, and child class have its own method as well. So let's declare a method for it first, so to understand. Void m3. Okay, sys out, just write child class method m3. Okay, now what I will do, I will make the object for this class. Just listen carefully, I will coming to those, right? Main Java type already exists. Okay, main parent child, right? So it will, name will be changed. Main class should have main method, right? Here is that. What I will do, I will make the object for child class. Child c is equal to new child. Now can I call this method here? Sanjeev, can I call this method, this M3? Can I call this?
I think we can.
No, why? No, be sure, be sure. Why I think is there?
Because we are doing extension notes. I think we can. I can. Yeah, we can do that.
Why we can do it? Just because of we are doing extending this class, right?
Correct.
No, not correct.
Now that extension keyword is there, right? So that will go and
No, 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 no. I am making object for this class.
call the parent.
No, no. Listen, Sanjeev, listen. Why I need to extend this class, where I have extended this child class? I am making object for child class. Here you can see assigning child class object, right? So whatever
Yeah.
present inside this child class, I can directly call it. But if I want to call this parent class method, then I have to extend this parent class inside this child class. So all the methods present over this child class, I can call that, right? But this is not mandatory to what you say with, that's totally incorrect logic. What I can explain for that, that here whatever class you are making object for any which class, suppose I have a class A and making object for class A, then all methods present inside class A you can call by object dot method name, right? So same thing
Correct.
here. So there is nothing such as extending, that's why we can call, no, why? But because M3 is present, but if we want to call these two methods M1 and M2, so we have to by making object of child class, right? If I want to call this M1 and M2 method by making object of the child class, then I have to extend, I have to this method present inside this child class. How can I do that? But just by extending the parent class, right? So don't be confused between the just because of we have extended, right? So we can directly call this M3 method.
Okay.
Okay, but if I want to call these method, so there are two ways: either make the object for this parent class, but if you want that I will make the object for child class and I want to call the methods of the parent class, then you have to extend these methods inside in this class. If these methods will be present inside this class, you can extend that. How can you extend? Just providing inheritance, so you can directly call just because you provide the inheritance. So whatever reply you are giving for this were valid for this concept, right? Not for M3. Seems M2. Is it clear or not?
If I understand correctly, in the child class already we have extension the parent class. So in the main method we can call any classes of method directly.
Okay.
Don't need to create separate object for that.
Yeah, we don't need to because we have extended that, right?
Extended, yeah.
Okay, but if we don't have extended, suppose I comment this line, then you cannot call these two methods, right? You will getting an M1 and M2 because now
Correct.
M1 and M2 not present inside this class, but once you extend it, so all these will be coming over here, right? So this is the concept of inheritance. Okay, okay, so I hope you got it. Now I will be coming to this overriding concept, right? So I will be coming to overriding concept. Okay, one friend of mine was teasing me. There is a trending video for Rasi, right? So he was coming and saying that to me. Okay, so I am coming to, and coming to that. Just ignore it. Okay. Okay. Suppose what is overriding then? Here its overriding is not, we are not providing any overriding. Suppose this child class says that I am not satisfied with the implementation of this parent class, right? Whatever parent class has given this implementation, I am not satisfied, I want to provide my own implementation, right? For this method M1 I want to provide my own implementation. you are going to have two and three very important rules you are going to learn, right? So be focused now. Suppose this child class says that I am not satisfied with the implementation of these two parent class methods, right? This methods doesn't behave like I want to behave, right? Suppose this child class say whatever I want to say, just do that. Extend this method because these methods are mandatory to have in my class, right? But I don't want this implementation. Suppose I am making a game, right? Suppose I am creating a game and I say that player jumps, right? So if the player jumps, okay, but there are 5 to 6 players in that game and one player jumps 5 feet height and one player jumps 6 feet height. So suppose one wants to child class wants to say that my player will jump 6 feet height, your player is just jumping 5 feet height because my player have more energy, right? Like PUBG we play, right? So say, uh, similarly over here this child class is not satisfied and it says that just I want to provide my own implementation but for same methods, right? Okay, so what it need to do, just write same method over here. This child class will say that my child implementation of m1, right? And this I will write the parent so that it will be clear, IMPL of m1, right? Parent IMPL or method m1, right? Now this child class says okay, now I am satisfied, but there is a notation @override. If you not write it, no worries, but if you write it, what it means, it means that this m1 method is present in parent class, right? It means that this m1 method is present in parent class. If I don't write it, then this method m1 may be it's this child class own method, or it may be or may not be present inside parent class. Likewise this, if I write override override above this m3, what it means, it means that this m3 should be present inside parent class because you are overriding this. So you can override only if this is present inside parent class, right? So if you are overriding this m3 should be present, but this m3 is not present inside the parent class. That's why what is error says that the method m3 of type child must be override or implement a super type method, right? But this is not a super type method, this is a child type method, right? With child type class I declared here. So this is annotation for the overriding methods, right? Okay, now this has provided its own implementation. Now I say if the what method output it will be giving. You can say parent class constructor, first the constructor will be called because child class have also the constructor. Let me write it first so that rules will be clear now. Child class constructor, right? Now you can, now let me run it and then I will explain it. Here you can see parent class constructor. First is called the constructor of child class, and last session I had told by default super written over here, right? So it went to child parent class constructor and here it would find parent class constructor, it wrote, then it came back to child class constructor and printed, right? Next what I have called c.m3. So m3 method is present inside C class, right? So it printed what its method, the message is child class method m3, it printed, like second it again came c.m1, c.m1. So which method it will call, it will call methods inside the child class, c.m1, child implementation of m1, right? Child class child implementation of m1, right? So this given this output, right? Next I call c dot m2. So method m2, whatever method present inside, I have not declared m2 over here, so it's taking from the parent, because this method coming inside this child class through inheritance, right? So it said that method m2, right? So I hope it is clear to all. Any questions related to it, guys? Any questions? Is it clear to all? And Abarsu, you are not audible. You are trying to explain something.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, thank you. So now just note this point, guys. Note it on pen and paper, so that there may be lot of things either you will have this video, but still if you note this point, so that is a shortcut for you to accept that rules, right? Otherwise you have to watch full 1 hour video, right? What now? Suppose the parent class says I have a method void m3 m4, because m3 is present inside child class, right? Void m4. Suppose this parent class says that, first let me write some message to it, parent class method. Suppose this parent class says that I have provided this implementation and I don't want that my child class can override this class over this method, right? I don't want that my child class will provide some other information to this method. I want to restrict that this method should be common to all implementing class. Thousands of classes can implement this parent class, right? Thousands of players can be present inside any in any game, right? So thousands of classes will be implementing this class. But suppose you want that there should be a common attribute that uh, player should if a player gets energy from any drink, that same energy can drink other classes cannot provide extra energy, right? So parent class says that this should be common attribute to all and no one can change it. So how can I do it? I can make it final. Now no class will able to override this method. Class will able to extend this method, right? This child class have this m4 method, right? Because this is extending parent, but this cannot override it. Let's try to override it. Let's cross check. Void m4. Let's see what is saying. Cannot override the final method from parent, right? Means whatever declaration, whatever the code, whatever the logic giving by the parent, you cannot override that, right? This method is present inside this child class, but you cannot override it. Whatever the logic, whatever the code is written by the parent class will be only applicable, right? I can call it through the C class m4, right? But I cannot change the implementation of that m4 in child class. You can see that parent class method m4, right? Whatever I have given message over here, parent class method m4. Parent class method m4. So what final means? Final has 3 means. Just listen. If a class is final, it means cannot be extended. When if class is final, you cannot inherit that class. Let's make it final. Now see the error. The type child cannot be subclass for final class parent, right? If a class is final, then you cannot inherit that class, right? So just understand the rules of inheritance. If a method is final, then you cannot override. If a variable is final, then it is constant, right? And what constant means? That we cannot change the value. Let me copy and paste these rules, right? So if a class is final, you cannot extend that class. Is method is final, you cannot override that method. And if a variable is final, then you cannot change the value of it because it's constant, right? So suppose, I hope you guys got it. Suppose I make it private, m2 private. So what it means? This m2 will be remain inside the same class, right? And this child class will not able to extend this method. m2 scope will be inside same class because it's a private, right? No class can have this method. So what is the difference between final and private? If you declare a method as a final, then you can, this method will be present in child class. You declare a method final, then this method will be present inside child class, but you cannot override, you cannot change the declaration, you cannot change the code overwritten into it. You will be forced to follow those rules by provided by parent class, right? But if it is private, then this will not be present in that child class, right? So this is the basic difference between the final and private, right? You can see that I have declared this method m2 private, right? Now I have extended this, right? And what it says, m2 is the giving error because the method m2 from the type parent is not visible. Why not visible? Because private method is not extendable to this class, right? So why, if I am trying to call this, this method is not present in child class, how I will be able to call this? I have to declare the change the visibility, either the protected, either the public or the default, right? Okay, so this one is the rule for the overriding. If anybody has any questions, then ask me. Nobody has any question?
Clear.
Okay, so this was the overloading and overriding. So if you guys don't have any question, let me add up some more things, right? Okay,
In real time, are we using the final keyword for variable declaration?
of course. There, suppose if you are suppose sometimes we see the in the down values we have static values, right? Constant values. Like if you go for age, we want to restrict age between 18 to 30, like we have job portals, right? And we want to automate those things. So we have to declare if those values will be greater than or something like beyond the range, then we will not be able to. That's the part of the testing, right? So restrictions inside for the variables, this is just an example, right? So we can real time we have uses, but every time without uses we are not going to use that, but we should have knowledge. Okay, so now I want to add up one more thing. Suppose this, I will comment this line, parent p is equal to new child, child c equal to new child. What is the difference in these two lines? This one is the upcasting. Upcasting I will explain. And what is the difference in these two lines? This means you are providing object for child class and searching those methods inside parent class. If those methods will not be present in parent class, you will not be able to call those methods, right? If those methods will be present inside parent class, so first it will going to find that method in parent class. If that method is present, okay, then it is coming to the child class. If that is present inside the child class, it will print the child class method, right? But if that method is not present in the child class, then it will print the parent class method, right? But this should be present inside parent class. If this is not present inside the parent class, this is the error. Let me show. Likewise, method m3, right? This is the child class method. Let's try to call p dot m3. See, the method m3 is undefined for the type parent, right? You can see I have given the child, right, and reference of the parent class. So it's saying that if you are giving the child object with the parent reference, then parent should have that method present, right? If not present, then it's error. But suppose, let comment out this line. This one is the m1 is coming from parent, right? So I will call parent p dot m1. Now let's run it. What it says first. Let's comment. Let's don't call other methods. Okay. Let's comment constructor message, so it will be clear to understand. Then one liner of response. Child class, child implementation of m1. What it done when I have passed the parent reference, right, but with child object, what it says, p dot m1, it says just go to the parent first. It came to the parent, right? It say okay, present, m1 is present, okay, no worries. Let's see it, is it present in child. If it is present in child class, let's print it, otherwise just print the parent class, parent class method. It's saying that okay, this method is present inside the child class, okay, so it printed this. Suppose I comment this and this is not present inside the child class, what it will print? It will print parent. Why we need that? Now come to this. Suppose I am the owner of any company, right, and I want that if I am following something, then my child should also follow. Suppose I have 5 methods, I am parent class, and I want that my child should not implement other methods. Whatever methods I have present, either that child can override those methods, write its own implementation, or it can write its own implementation, or it should follow my implementation, but it cannot write its own methods, right? Or it cannot call its own methods, right? It can write its own method, but if you will pass the reference with the parent reference and the child object, then it will not able to call other methods, right? So this difference I can make in this position. Then live examples will be coming and you will be getting those things, okay? So this parent class wants that whatever methods I have, only those methods should be implemented by child. Then what can be done? Just pass the child parent reference and the child object, and first it will check whether this method is present in m1 or not. If m1 have that method, then only can child provide its implementation, otherwise it cannot. Like same happens in m3. M3 was not present in parent class, so that's why it was giving an error that this method is not present inside parent class. So this is the different famous interview question, why this, what difference between these two lines, right? This means that you have made the child class object, you will be able to call child class method only. If you are extended, this means all the methods present inside the parent are also present in child, so you will be able to call the parent and child both, right? But this means you will be able to call only those methods which are present in parent class, right? So this was the difference. Okay, anybody is in any doubt? Okay, so thank you for attending today's session, and